Yesterday, Lexus teased the TX, a three-row crossover, kind of like an upscale version of the Grand Highlander. And to be honest, I was not impressed with those teaser images. But god dang, am I impressed with the new Lexus GX teasers. Let's get into it. So Lexus is teasing this not just at the USA newsroom. If we go to the global newsroom, they even let us know that it's being revealed in Austin, Texas on June 8th, 8 p.m. Stay tuned. I'll bring it to you guys in the flesh, as well as the TX. They are being revealed at the exact same time. Interestingly, the US page doesn't mention anything about Austin, Texas, but the Japanese page does. Just keep in mind that the GX is also being teased on the Australian websites as well as the European website. So this thing is really going to be a global product. Very much like the Land Cruiser Prado, but I mean, we've never really had the Prado here in the United States other than the Lexus GX, which is a luxury variant of it. Okay, let's break down this image, and man, is there a lot going on here. Let's just start with the overall boxiness of the new GX. I love how just straight-edged everything is. The current GX has a lot of softness to it, especially with like the front grille, the fenders. It looks a little bit more elegant than, let's say, the Prado, but they're very much like even the fenders are very, very soft. This thing is going very rugged, very G-Wagon-esque, but definitely more futuristic looking than a G-Wagon. We have that light bar that's going across the back here, the Lexus font. And check this out. This window still pops up despite the windshield wiper being down here at the bottom of it. And I'm not quite sure what this piece is right here. It almost looks like rear LED lights. Maybe they could shower some light down when you're backing up. Not 100% sure. Now, this color looks to be that same brown color, just in a different lighting than we saw recently with the previous teasers. I can't wait to see what the turn indicators as well as reverse lights look like. I would assume they're built right into this really compact lighting area. The window line is boxy, but it actually has been seen before, at least a very similar window line. And we're going to look at Toyota's compact cruiser, light cruiser, their EV, tiny compact battery electric vehicle that they have teased and actually patented as well. So the similarities here are quite striking. So if you look at this window line behind the B pillar, it swoops up. Look at that same general design here behind the B pillar swooping up. And even this angle here lets you know how similar the boxy nature of these two vehicles are. And look at the side mirrors. Check out this really angular side mirror. And what about the side mirror here? It's the same general design with that little cut coming on the bottom left corner here. So wow, we're looking at what is very much like a Land Cruiser, light cruiser, tiny vehicle. So this spells well for the Prado, looking very boxy in nature as well. We also have this window line piece up here that I don't know what to think about it because it's not like in line with the top of the door windows. Not giving it exactly like a floating roof line like we've seen in the TX teaser, but just kind of adding extra little design there. And then the fenders here. This model, I'm not quite sure. It actually looks like these fenders could be paint matched. So it depends on the model that you might be getting, because I think the previous teasers, if we pull up this guy here, there's no glossy, or should I say there's very little glossiness. This looks matte to me. So we could be looking at two different trim levels here for the Lexus GX. Glossy shark fin antenna, and then also we have glossy roof rails here. And it looks like the refrigerator door in the Lexus GX is gone, as well as the Prado. It was absolutely massive, and it swung out, and it was hard to deal with in tight spaces, parking lots, but it looks like this is going to be your handhold here to open up the lift gate, like a traditional minivan per se. And some of you guys were worried that this would have like the Lexus digital latch, and like I highly doubt it. These look to be real physical door handles, much more like the Lexus LX. Now, I want to also point out that we have a headrest right in the middle here. So I think that is confirmation that this will have a third row in certain trims, but my sources are also saying there's going to be trims, especially the off-roady trims on the GX that will just have 2 rows of seats. So we haven't had that on the GX before. They've all come 3-row standard. And I think this is pretty evident here that this is more of a luxury trim with the paint match wheel arches, or at least glossy matched wheel arches. These could be different colors. It's really hard to tell with the lighting. At the very least, they are glossy black. And if we go to these teaser images, this is definitely the more off-roady variant, I would say. The rain and the dirt on it, as well as the the matte wheel arches. And then if we go to this one, you can see how much dust and dirt on it. So this is definitely them detailing the more rugged option, I would say. So for powertrains on the GX, I think, the GX 550 is trademarked. So the 550 is more than likely somewhere between 348 horsepower from the twin turbo V6 all the way up to 389 horsepower. Now, the Lexus LX 600 has 409 horsepower with premium fuel and 479 pound-feet of torque. Now, we just don't know exactly what kind of power reduction there will be from the GX 550 to this 600. Is it possible they have the exact same powertrain and power numbers? But you would think 600 would have more power than the 550. But Lexus just doesn't make a lot of sense with their nomenclature nowadays. It could simply just mean that the 600 is a bigger vehicle than the 550. We will see. Now, it will have a hybrid. We just don't know what type of hybrid to be certain. If we look at the new Tacoma, it has the Hybrid Max on there, or should I say the iForce Max, which is the turbo 4-cylinder mated to an electric motor. It has 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. This could very well be the hybrid setup that we see in the Land Cruiser Prado, as well as the Lexus GX. And this would have an 8-speed auto. I haven't updated this up from my speculations. Didn't expect them to put an 8-speed auto in the new Tacoma, but they did. From my hearing, it had something to do with the size of the transmission. It just didn't work in the smaller package that is the Tacoma, the 10-speed that is. So they put in the old 8-speed and tuned it for more truck-based platforms. So hybrid option number one. The other hybrid option would be this guy over here, the LX 700H that has been trademarked. The Lexus GX could get this 700H powertrain as well with, 450 to 60 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. So let me know which hybrid powertrain you would want. Obviously, the more powerful one would be more tantalizing. I think that would help separate it from the Land Cruiser, as well as the 4Runner more than likely will get this setup over here. I think it would be excellent to have the twin turbo V6 hybrid. That's just my 2 cents right there. And yes, would I like to see a plug-in hybrid? Absolutely. I just don't think it would ever happen. You got to keep in mind, Lexus will be fully battery electric in the United States by 2030. So that means we only have a 6 to 7 year run with this Land Cruiser or Prado / Lexus GX before they turn it into an EV of some sort, which I can't see it happening, to be honest. And don't forget the Lexus LBX will be revealed on June 5th as well. That's all we have so far of the teaser. Well, actually, we have 2 teasers. We have the back and the headlight. So I want to go to automotive news because this is going to be mainly for Europe. We mentioned it is coming to Australia as well. And they're saying it could become the brand's top seller, at least over there, right? They have the Lexus UX over there, as well as a UX electric variant of it, the 300e. Now, they're saying that this is based off of the Yaris Cross platform, which is a B segment platform, the TNGA B platform. We don't see any B platform vehicles here in the United States, which essentially means we will not be getting this car at all. And I think Lexus could have something special here if they did bring it to the United States, to be honest, because we don't have the normal Yaris anymore. And people in small towns, or should I say people in cities, would like to have a very small, high-end vehicle to just run about town. So there could be a fully electric variant of this with maybe 200 to 250 miles of range. And the UX is already the top-selling model so far this year in Europe, selling nearly 1,500 out of the 3,700 for the brand. And sales for the UX are up 85%. And overall, Lexus sales in Europe are up 80%. So this thing will do great for the brand in Europe. I bet you also see it in Japan. You will also see it in Australia. But the Australian driving demands are not that much different than the United States. You have long distances between cities. And then you also have the usability of small cars within the city. I just don't understand why they'd bring it to Australia and not the United States because, like I said, very similar driving demands. All right. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end it there. Definitely stay tuned. I'll reveal the LBX, the GX, and the TX all next 2 weeks from now. It feels like next week, but 2 weeks from now, I'll bring it the big ones, the 3-row vehicles, two guys in the flesh from Austin, Texas. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell icon so you don't miss it. If you're excited for the Lexus GX, smash the heck out of the like button, and have a great day and peace.